Well, what's going on, everybody? I'm Dan, and this is Midwest Angling. We're trying something a little different today. I am out here on the mighty Petenwell Flowage. We're up in the Backwaters area, and we don't have a boat, we got a canoe. Now, this canoe is pretty old and beat up, but it's new to me. Got it by horse trading a couple items that I don't need anymore, and I was very happy to get this here canoe. Something I've always wanted to do was go camping from my kayak. And, you know, I know people do it, but with all the fishing gear and the camera gear, it's just really seemed like it was gonna be quite the task. And so now that this here canoe has come along, I am really excited to give this type of camping a try. Now, I've camped out several times on this channel up here in the mighty Petenwell Flowage, and this really is, this is a paddler's dream out here. Lots of real calm water. If the waves are really ripping out on the lake, you really can't tell up here. It's really nice and peaceful. You know, it's one of the closest places that you can get to wilderness around these parts. We're going to a campsite that I know where it is. I've never camped there before, and I wanted to check it out. Usually when I camp on this channel, I go to the same island, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of change things up today. You know, they keep changing what the weather's supposed to be today. It was supposed to be pouring today, and then they changed it to where it's not. And now there's thunderstorms going on behind me. We got a couple hours before it gets dark, so I'm just gonna go and get camp set up real quick. So that's the plan. Hunter, who's been on the channel before, he is coming out as soon as he's done work. He's got his motorboat. He's gonna come join us, get his stuff set up. But for right now, let's get over to that campsite. Now, of course, when I planned this, we were in the middle of it acting like it was gonna be fall for a minute. So I packed a big, heavy sleeping bag. Fortunately though, I packed something a little lighter. Now this is something that was sent to me that we're gonna test out on this here video. This is from Loogu. Now, I worked with Loogu earlier this year when they sent me a bunch of fishing clothing. Oh, that stuff is great, by the way. This stuff is phenomenal. I still wear it all the time. And they were also kind enough to send me this camping blanket. Now, it also works as a poncho, so they say. Like it buttons up. But the thing that I was really excited about was you can either use this on its own if it's kind of muggy like it is today. It is in the 80s today. But you can also use this if it's gonna be a little chilly. You could use this to cover a sleeping bag and, you know, you get a little bit extra warmth. Now, the thing I'm noticing right away is that this is big enough that you can lay this down so you're not laying directly on the sleeping pad. If it gets a little chilly as the night goes on, you're able to pull that thing over and be warm. Now that we got home set up, the darkness really snuck up on me today. It doesn't help that it looks like it wants to rain. And so I was getting a little nervous there with how dark it was getting and hearing thunder in the background, but so far it's held off. Maybe it's just gonna go around us. And so, you know, let's get a fire going and maybe get some supper cooking. Who needs a water bottle?
When you have a gallon.
All right. Nice and cozy fire going. I suppose we might as well cook. Hunter made it in the dark. We didn't film it, but he made it. Got his tent set up. So we're stylish now.
What did you pack yourself for breakfast?
Oh, good old spam and eggs.
Ooh, spam and eggs.
Yep.
How would you like to upgrade your spam to bacon?
So we can do that, but I'm still eating my spam. I actually like spam.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had it.
Well, I only brought a single serving size. If I would have brought a whole can, we could have chowed down, but I didn't want to eat a whole can of spam in one sitting. Maybe have a little bit more self-respect than that.
You know, I just happened to think, I don't know that I brought an eating utensil along. I might just be down to the giant spoon.
What?
I don't know if it's in my bag.
And you brought steak?
I did bring steak.
What,
I have a Gerber multi-tool.
Oh, okay.
We are not sponsored by Gerber. Just want to put that out there. I just think it's a quality handy tool to have.
Oh, I already have a product in this video.
Oh, what is the product in this video?
The Loogu Poncho Blanket. I mean, I'm not sure I'm ever going to use it as a poncho. but you know, I think it's the perfect thickness for kind of how humid and muggy it is tonight. I think that thing's actually going to work out.
You see, your system is so well thought out and intentioned. That's what a little bit of preparation does.
Well, it's like I am order and you are chaos.
I am chaos.
And you know that the universe works in harmony that way. I hope I got enough gas for this. Well, so what are we cooking here tonight? Well, I got all these knockoff Velveeta. Got a little ground beef to go with it. It's like my hamburger's nice and thawed out. Brought a whole pound of Colby cheese.
So I thought we had some sliced cheese in the fridge, and it turns out we did not. So,
Well, you know.
everything in moderation, as they say.
Right. Well, I might steal some of your cheese then if you're cheese rich.
I am cheese rich.
You know, the trick on these cheap aluminum pans is just like cast iron. Don't let it burn. Don't let it burn and it ain't gonna stick. And the trick to not letting it burn is to not let it get too hot. This little frying pan is the perfect size for a half a pound of ground beef. It's like it was made for it.
Yeah, just scoop me some into my little can.
Oh,
Landed on your lid.
it did. Dave.
Thank you. I will enjoy this Velveeta.
Well, it's all these Velveeta, so it's like Smellveeta. They made it a lot better than it was.
It's not some of these Velveeta, it's all of these Velveeta.
It's most of these Velveetas. I mean, they made it better because I tried it a couple years ago, and it was really bad. Like, I had to dump in a bunch of red pepper just to make it like somewhat tolerable. They fixed that because I could not have been the only one.
Yes, scent of cheese Velveeta. I'll tell you what, it's better than nothing though.
Oh, it's not great, but it's not like awful. Like it's good enough. It's good enough for who it's for.
What's the saying? Everything tastes better in the woods.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm starting to think you had the better idea for a meal.
Yeah, I have done this a time or two. I may have learned a thing or two in that time or two.
That is possible.
And the thing that I learned is that you gotta leverage the whole food tastes better in the woods thing. Keep it simple. So yeah, make your meals, cook in a nice pot. Pre-made canned stuff is really not that bad for woods meals. Just got to get it to temp. You don't have to actually cook it. That's even better. It's all about simplicity. Look, I think a good thing to do, plan them around the cook kits. You know what I mean? That helps to make sure that everything's going to work.
Well, that's where I was like, should be fine with the cast iron pan, steak.
Cast iron's tough. I know, because I basically exclusively cook with it at the house. Cast iron is hard enough to keep pristine when you have like a stove that you can control, be very precise with the temperatures that you're using. It's really hard on a fire because you can't control it. Like, you can add or remove coals, but it's a lot more of a crapshoot. It's a lot easier to frig it up. That's why there's only one of these camp out videos where I use cast iron. And I'm really comfortable with it. Like I said, pretty much every breakfast meal I cook at the house is on cast iron.
Well, I'm glad we could add in an extra educational bit.
Well, yeah,
bring me along for just for that. Every single time.
Well, when you stop learning stuff, that's when it's time to hang it up. Because what's even the point?
So how did you enjoy the canoe carrying gear?
It's definitely the way to go.
Think so?
For this type of stuff, yeah. I'm just really excited about having a canoe. I'm starting to wonder if I should have just got a canoe instead of getting a kayak. The money that I spent on the kayak, I actually get a really decent canoe for that much.
And now you're sitting here going, man, I might have wasted that money.
I mean, kinda. The kayak still has its place. Because the kayak is a lot lighter, a lot easier to throw around in the bed of the truck. From a fishing standpoint, the kayak is superior to the canoe. Just from maneuverability and speed. But when it comes to hauling gear and doing, like, camping, the canoe is it. It's not even close. Well, I managed to do a meal in not non-stick pans and didn't stick it to the pan. That was good. Now, we're going to wind down and enjoy the rest of this fire. Chill out. It's been a long day for both of us.
GoPro, stop recording. You should just... You should leave that in there.
Well, good morning. I'm just still in bed. And it seems like I got up just in time for it to start raining. You know, it held off all last night. You could see lightning from where we was at, but it never actually rained. Looking at the radar, it seems like it's unavoidable at this point. It doesn't really seem like we're gonna get a lot of rain today. It's gonna be enough to be annoying. With that being said, I don't exactly want to completely break down my shelter from that rain yet. Definitely gonna get some breakfast going though. Try to get a fire while I can. It's just kind of like off and on sprinkling. See if we can get away with that. Then we'll probably back up camp and head off into the river to get some real fishing in.
Debating whether I want to fry up that other egg or not.
You know, regret lasts forever, but so does glory.
So how is your cluster of breakfast?
It's delicious. I'm telling you, it looks way better than it, or it tastes way better than it looks.
Almost caught him in it.
You know, you just gotta not think about how the Spam is made and everything will be fine.
You know, I can't do any amount of raw in an egg, but give me curdled milk and I'll eat an entire tub of it.
Yeah, just a fella sitting there eating his cottage cheese with a serving spoon.
Well, how else am I going to know how big a serving is?
That's true. You know, I just didn't think of it that way. All right, so what do I think of this here Loogu camping blanket poncho? You know, it's not very thick, and for me that's a good thing. You know, because sleeping bags tend to be pretty warm. Last night it was pretty muggy, and so I think honestly this is the perfect weight of a blanket if you were going to camp in the summertime. You could set it down on the sleeping pad, and then you don't have that awkwardness of like your skin sticking to it. And then there's enough of the blanket there that if it gets chilly in the middle of the night, you just wrap that thing over and then you got a blanket. I got into probably the upper 50s by this morning, and I mean, this blanket was perfect. So I haven't actually tried the poncho features, so why not try and snap it together and see how that actually works. So the buttons are all along the one edge here. So maybe that. Your head goes through there. Oh, sakes. So it appears that you need to put it around your neck first, and then there. I mean, it is in fact a poncho. Yeah. I could see, maybe, if you were, it's a little crispy and you're gonna sit around the campfire, maybe you want to throw this on, be nice and warm. I don't know if it's waterproof, and I don't know if it's gonna be raining today for us to check. I don't know, I wouldn't really use it as like an actual rain poncho. I would more wear this as an actual just way to keep warm. It definitely gets my approval, so let's see how it goes back in the stuff sack. So here's the stuff sack. I don't think we're gonna have a problem. Yeah, plenty of room. And then it does have all these compression straps too. So that's spiffy. Look at that. That's nice. I approve. So do me a favor, the link to this thing will be in the description, and definitely check out Loogu's stuff. It's really comfortable, and you know, I use that fishing clothing actually to go hiking too. So it's nice and vented, and it'll keep you cool out there, protected from the sun. And then when you go back to camp, you can use this here camping blanket. Make sure you go check out Loogu's stuff. You can get it directly from Loogu.com, or you can find just about everything that Loogu makes on Amazon. So I want to just give a special thank you to Loogu once again for sending us this stuff to use. took us way longer to get out of camp than I was even expecting. I think this is the latest I've ever broke camp on one of these. It's noon, and we do need to go around 3. We need to head back. So that'll give us a couple hours to get over to the river, do some fishing. But you know, it's one thing I kind of want to set these aside from my regular fishing videos, is that these are a lot more laid back. We're just going on an adventure, you know? When you make strict fishing videos, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And then you put all that effort into making a video and you don't even get one out there. You know, we're just out here in the canoe, we're having a good time. Had a great camp. Really, really enjoyed my time out here this morning. I desperately needed something like this. So, yeah, we're just gonna let the wind take us. We're gonna make our way to that old Wisconsin River. Well guys, unfortunately that's gonna do it for today. You know, kinda went out in the river and totally struck out. I didn't even get a bite. But you know, that's how fishing goes sometimes. And I really didn't have a whole lot of time or mobility to try and shift around to figure out what they're doing, you know. But it was still a great little adventure. Got to enjoy the great wilderness that we have very close by us in central Wisconsin. Always fortunate to be able to experience that. So if you haven't done so already, please do me a favor and hit that like button. The other thing that you can do is YouTube has a new feature now called the hype button. And 3 times a week you can hype videos, and that helps to push them up for the algorithm, and it helps me out tremendously. So if you could do that, that would be greatly appreciated. The other thing that you can do is leave a comment, you know, let us know where you're watching from, what you like to do in the outdoors, how do you like to set up your campsite, just things like that. All that stuff really helps me out by showing YouTube that you're engaging with the video. So even if it's just to stop in and say hello, I really do appreciate it. Now, if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you subscribe so that way you do not miss any future adventures on this channel. This has been Midwest Angling. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.